don't want to make this part too long because I want to get to the video, but before we begin, I want to say some things. First of all, a month ago, I was at like 480 subs, and now, as I'm recording this, I'm at like 2.1. It was an interesting experience when that video blew up because I had no intention of making that happen, and I also caught bronchitis the very next day. Thank you to all 1.8 thousand people that have subbed. I really appreciate it. Please don't leave me. But yeah, standard YouTube stuff. Just like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're commenting, let me know down below what you want to see next. Tell me about some fights you want to see. I want to talk about those. Oh, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, because I need more people to read my unhinged thoughts. Enjoy the video, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Bro, somebody come get Deku, please. He's been running around for months in the same suit in the middle of the rain. I know he smells crazy. I just know he smells like wet dog, pennies, quarters, and a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. That last one definitely smells the worst. Besides smell like absolute dog shit, Deku's done nothing but fight crime for the last couple of months. It may have something to do with the fact that All For One dropped a tactical nuke on him, then did it again 2 months later, but Deku is not in the best space physically, or mentally for that matter. He absolutely demolished the last person that came after him. Bro absolutely crucified him, then he crucified All Might's feelings. That should hurt to watch. Not the boxed lunch! And you know he's doing too much because a bunch of the previous users come out to tell him that. And listen, even if you don't like Deku, you have to give it to him. Bro grinded so hard, the voices in his head got involved. It doesn't help that every single person that Deku saves runs away from him. Granted, I can't blame them, I would too. If my savior looked like he was allergic to any and all forms of soap, Deku has not seen soap or toothpaste in a matter of months, so you know he hasn't seen a tailor. That suit is beat up, has him looking like Deku Darko. Did y'all get that joke? Donnie Darko? Jake Gyllenhaal? Old thrill. Never mind. Another collective to realize that Deku's going a bit far is Class 1A. Deku left the school in the middle of the night months ago and hasn't been seen since. And while they're quite sure that Deku is safe as he's with pro heroes, the country's still at war and he's still with All Might. No, I'm dead serious. That's like a reason that Bakugo gives. And he's not wrong. Deku is extremely self-sacrificing, and All Might became the symbol of peace by doing that too. He literally doesn't know how to stop Deku, even if he wants to. So they offer to do it themselves. Every single member of the class suits up to bring back Deku. Problem is, Deku doesn't want to go back, and he's really fucking strong. So much so that right now, it's all of 1A versus Deku. Dog, they are not winning this! Deku starts with a smokescreen, but Bakugo blows it away, just to then be hit with every single pigeon from the local park. He gets briefly caught by some tape, almost hit by some shockwaves, and then grabbed midair. All the while, with every single interaction, we're shown flashbacks of the class, because no one in the class actually wants to hurt Deku. They're using what I call advanced talk no jutsu. You see, with normal talk no jutsu, you talk your opponent down. With advanced talk no jutsu, you talk your opponent down while hitting them in the face. It's like playing Pokemon, but with people. And just for a moment, I started to wonder if anyone in 1A had any problems with Deku, because directly after this, he gets pushed into a building at full speed. Then he gets binded to a concrete pillar, but then I was reminded that all of their force was kind of justified because Deku headbutts the helmet off and walks off the binds. What kills me is when Kaminari walks up because he just puts an arm around him. And honestly, this might be the most realistic part of the entire series, because if someone could blow off all 4 of my limbs with their thumb and middle finger, I would have a light touch to them too. At least that was the case until Deku started sparking, and then Kaminari started sparking, and the entire side of the building just blows up. And quick side note, just before that happened, Kaminari begged Deku to come back home and take a bath. I told y'all, bro, stink! What really killed me though was Deku having a whole soliloquy about wanting to protect his friends and make sure they're okay, just for him to get interrupted by a giant ice wall. I don't know why Todoroki was lecturing Deku after this, because he had to have been concussed. He does not understand him. Right now, he is frostbitten and has head trauma. Forget UA, take him to a hospital. Deku escapes the ice and gets caught by Minetta's sticky balls. Hey, yo! Shut up! But he escapes that too, and plans on using the power of Leg Day to escape. Deku zips off, but then we see the class has built a giant ice ramp for this exact occasion. Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. It takes the combined effort of Ochako, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Ida just to catch him. And it's a good thing they did, because he'd be in trouble if they didn't, because he was passed out. And you aren't gonna tell me that in any other circumstance, Deku wouldn't have one arm. That catch had some force in it. Kaminari demonstrates why he'd be the best outfielder of all time, and Bakugo apologizes for years of childhood trauma. Deku apologizes for his Batman arc, and they go home to UA. And just like that, the power of friendship remains undefeated.